There we go. We are live. Somehow we're live. Hey, L&D. Wondered if anybody was going to show up tonight. Heck, I was wondering if I was going to show up tonight, but thanks for dropping in. I know the Kinos did have premiere. I don't know if it's over yet, but knowing those kind folks, they're liable to have sent people over here. But been kind of a crazy day around here. And but heck, we're going to do this little live stream and see if anybody shows. See what we got here. Hello, Denise. Hello, Ronnie C. Welcome aboard. I think y'all are the first ones here. So, and look at this. Look at this. Andy is not asleep yet? And he's brought Walt with him. Good to see you guys. I'm assuming you can hear me. If you can hear, can you hear me? Doing this on the iPad tonight, so the picture and sound quality is unknown at this point. But anyway, we're almost to 8 o'clock. L&D back again. Hello again to everyone. We'll hang out here for a few minutes here in the extra bedroom, at least for now. But yeah, appreciate those of you who have dropped in. We're on the T tonight. There's probably a decent chance there will be a shot break during the show at some point, perhaps sooner or later, who knows. But for those of you so inclined, please select your favorite beverage, and we'll do that at some point here in the near future. Actually, this is working pretty well as far as the being able to see the comments on here. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But looks like it's keeping up pretty well. So, but yeah. So I'm assuming some of you at least were. Oh, and there's the Kino Kid. Just mentioning the Kinos did a premiere, I believe. I was preparing for this and finishing watching up a movie with my lovely better half, so I did not make it up there, but definitely need to catch up, I will say, on some of the vlogs out there. I was doing pretty good, particularly with the Mark Timber, John Timber stuff. I made it through a lot of stuff there, but boy, I've fallen down again, certainly for Granny Fest. So looked like a huge, huge crowd on hand. Randall Kyle 81. Hey, cuz. Hi, cuz. Not sure who this is, but we could definitely be cuz. You know, I'm not even sure what the movie is. It had Adam Sandler and oh, hi, Brenda. Yeah, the Adam Sandler, David Spade. It seems to involve some sort of conspiracy to cover up a cancer cure. I guess I only saw the last maybe 30 minutes off and on. So pretty bizarre movie, kind of entertaining in a strange way. I think it's on Netflix. I don't know if it's a Netflix original, but perhaps if anyone's really terribly interested, I can probably get the name of that. But well, anyway, thanks for coming by. I have an actual blood relation in the live tonight. My cousin, my first cousin once removed, Brenda. So anyway, thanks for dropping in. We'll talk about Vegas, I guess, tonight, because that's kind of what we do. But a little bit more about the channel Really, this is just a way to not really have to do any work this week on making any videos. I can pretend that I'm somehow secretly working diligently every day, hours and hours a day, to try and put together fabulous content. But in fact, I've just been distracted with a lot of other things. But anyway, but yeah, I see both both sides of the Kino business on board. So yeah, we'll kind of more or less get started. There's no giveaways today. I'm not giving you people anything. Okay. So anyway, but yeah, good to see. I think the best reason to do these lives, honestly, is, and I'm sure probably the Kinos who do this every week, basically every week, would agree. It has very little to do with the content so much. It's just a great opportunity to get together and chat with some friends that otherwise we can sometimes lose track of. I see both halves of the frontiersman empire are now with us. Thank you for dropping in, Tina. I believe that the frontiersman family has recently welcomed a grandchild, so much congratulations to that. Yeah, very true. Boy, I tell you, you look at some of the names in here, and boy, yeah, I was thinking just how many years back anymore that I can go with Andy, for goodness sake. I think Andy and I first met, good Lord, would that have been 2019, possibly? I kind of think it was. We went out to dinner with, I believe, with the Vegas Best Ideas. That was the very first incident. The very first incident. That may be the exact correct way to put it. Yes. So, well, there you go. Yeah. No, 2019. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was 2019. We got these Shang noodles, I believe. That was I think that was like some sort of a strange sort of in I don't know, indoctrination ceremony that VBI had. Like if you were admitted to their special club if they took you to Shang Noodle. I don't know if that's still part of the routine, but anyway. Brenda, fourth grandchild. Well, as most of you know, we're expecting our first child, so it's just kind of a little bit different. But at my advanced age, I'm planning to retire and take children to school at the same time. So that should work out well in some sort of a strange sort of way. Now it's Fox Barbecue. Yeah. Well, the other place that was like so like big in terms of people having to, sort of, again, sort of indoctrinate you into the world was that Jesse Ray's Barbecue, which I believe I think we established this at a live stream probably months and months ago, like burned to the ground. I'm blaming the whole Raiders organization. I think they had something to do with it. But yeah, so now I don't know. I've never really had a restaurant that I felt the need to take people to, other than White Castle. And, I don't know. I never get there either. So not sure what to say. Yeah, so this is kind of the last gasp, I guess, of the Wednesday show. Which I still think is my favorite name for having come up with anything, and not so surprisingly, and he might show up here at some point. I don't know. Of course, PJ sends me a mug for Christmas. I don't know if it was this year or last year. Might have been last year. It had the mug made that says the Wednesday Show, which I enjoyed that many times for a cup of coffee or other beverage, but frankly, mostly coffee. So, but. Diana has joined us. Diana has joined in. Yes, there have been some Yeah, it's never really been for the upcoming young boy has never been officially announced to everyone in the Facebook universe because, frankly, I only know about half of these people, and the rest of them don't really need to know all my business. But yeah, that's right. You're going to have a new first cousin twice removed, I guess. And your children will have a second cousin. Yeah, there really is going to be a genealogy channel coming up at some point. That is actually going to happen. I've been kind of waiting, but yeah, that's going to happen. So I'm very very excited about this. And Brenda, you are definitely part of the 702 people that now comprise our giant family tree, which is much more of a forest. So there you go. But yeah, welcome, Diana. Good to see some representation from Ontario today, as always. I hope things are staying. Things should be getting cool way up north. I'm going to assume by this point, but who knows? It's been kind of unseasonably warm for a few days around here, but I think we're looking at some potential for some wintry weather over the weekend. So hopefully nothing too dramatic, because being a highly trained professional with the best of the best hours possible, and I'm always working over the weekends. But warm even in Canada. So must be all the hot air up there. I don't know. I'm thinking that would probably apply in Ottawa at least. I mean, that's almost an American joke, but I would think it would pretty much apply as well to the Canadian central government. And my phone's going off over here, but yeah. No, so yeah, this is basically the end of the Wednesday show. We will from time to time, hopefully more often than not, be dropping in these new cool hip. Yeah, they've been doing them for like 2 years. These little YouTube shorts, a lot of little clips, and then a lot of sort of very concise commentary. So I'm going to try to sort of dig into that a little bit. Maybe we'll even cross post those to TikTok and revive that crazy channel. So yeah, but no, we had a lot of fun with this sort of midweek stuff, and but I thought if we had any sort of a theme we would discuss tonight, since it's become the theme of this broadcast over the past year for sure, was my thoughts, in some cases very brief, in some cases not unbelievably well informed, thoughts on different Vegas hotels. And I would say most everybody in this room has stayed at least at one Las Vegas hotel. I'm pretty sure, Brenda, you all have made your way through Vegas a couple of times. So I was curious if anyone has any particularly interesting hotel stories. One of the great stories that I have heard before, and I heard it or saw it again posted maybe a week and a half ago. I can't think of his last name, but a gentleman by the name of Steve, who's traveled to Vegas like 500 times and has now moved there within the last couple of years, and makes this list like every month or so of all the Vegas values. Here's a story of actually finding a dead body under the bed in his Las Vegas hotel room. So I don't think anybody's going to beat that story in terms of what their sort of strangest or weirdest, worst, best hotel experiences. Yeah, the other thing I think about from time to time is the number of properties I've stayed at over the years that no longer exist, or certainly don't exist in their current form. I mean, sometimes it's as silly as, well, I stayed at the Stratosphere. Well, now it's the Strat. I've stayed at all three incarnations of Sahara, the old one, SLS, and then the new one. But I mean, is that 3 properties or is it just really 1 property? I don't know. Um, but I mean, I stayed at the Stardust. I stayed at the Stardust in a very retro way, in one of their old motel style rooms. That's definitely reaching way back into the Wayback Machine. But Riviera, I stayed at a number of times. And then when I think about downtown, I had a couple of stays at the old Lady Luck Hotel, which of course now is the location of the downtown Grand. So, yeah, but yeah, that's definitely a lot of properties over the years. I keep sort of doing a throwback to T&G here. I can't remember how many different hotels or motels or time shares they've stayed at. I think it's well over 50 at this point. I don't think I can quite hit that number. I think I'm in the high 40s though, depending on how you figure it. But there's some definite gaps in my Las Vegas hotel experiences. Probably the biggest would be like Venetian and MGM Grand. I mean, I kind of don't like those properties just because they're so ridiculously large that I feel like you spend half of your time getting to and from other places instead of being able to get around a little better. I don't like the really small properties sometimes, but I don't need them quite that big. Yeah, right. But yeah, so and of course as has been mentioned in a couple of the Vegas Tips and Tricks weekly shows, we're going to be revamping that show over the next week and a half. When it comes out again in November, then it'll have a bit of a different format. It should probably feel a little bit like the show felt several years ago, but a few different tweaks along the way. Yeah, that's the thing, and I have these mind sort of late night can't sleep sort of thoughts, and I had one the last night or the night before, I can't remember, about the to me the 3 properties that really aren't just properties, they're like cities, to me are Venetian, MGM, and Caesars. I know my way around Caesars reasonably well because I did stay there for a few days, and I kind of got the lay of the land. But yeah, well, there you go. See, what fun is it really? If you haven't found a dead body in a motel room, then really, what on earth have you been doing with your life? I bet you if you stayed at the Bridge or Inn, it would really raise your possibility of hitting something like that happening. Then the opening the Vegas Confessions podcast. So see, you people are on top of all these shows, and yeah. The Vegas Confessions, that's Julian's podcast, isn't it? Yeah, I've caught that a few times. Good show. Good show. We're going to be about the Hit It Mirage. All the lights out. Lisa gets a Ben screen. Oh my God. I saw a bug. Okay, well, yeah. We're going to have to go ahead and say that a bug does rate slightly lower on the incredible findings in hotel rooms. But yeah, it's something. I did find, I found hot dogs in the refrigerator of a motel room. I can't remember if it was in Vegas or if it was in Kansas City. Might have been in Kansas City, but you get one of those, personal fridges to put your stuff in, and you open it up and someone's left hot dogs in there. I don't really know what that's about. Of course, everyone's found that somewhat suspicious hair. That's not really much to say. Fortunately, I've never found any bugs that were of a serious nature. Fly here and there, but fortunately no bed bugs. You certainly don't want those. Yeah, I don't know if I was going to say, is that maintenance or is that housekeeping? Or I mean, is that housekeeping or is that maintenance? You need like somebody that's, it's like housekeeping. Got your, I don't know, body bag. I don't know. That's the way to go, I guess. Um, the, the one of my weirdest Vegas hotel experiences does actually go back to my brief stay at the Stardust Motor Lodge. And that was the fact that, and you can go look this up because I did myself. I did a Google search on it back in July of 1998, which is now 25 years ago. I'm now going to go cry myself to sleep, by the way. There was a massive downpour. Oh, Diana, thank you. Much appreciated. One of those super chat things. Ah, boy. We used to do that all the time, didn't we? We'd get on each other's, we're like 8 of us. We'd get on each other's live stream and give Google money. But no, thank you. Appreciate that. But no, there was a massive thunderstorm downpour in Las Vegas. And during that, there was a lightning strike on the roof of Palace Station, the tower, of course, and a small fire there. And then also there was a part of the casino that was sort of washed out for a few days. But that night, trying to get back to my hotel room, I had to wade through literally probably a foot and a half of water. I'll say a foot. Let's not exaggerate too much, but and that was the only way to walk from the casino back to those motel rooms. So we all took our shoes and socks off and rolled up our pants and walked through that. But yeah, and I don't know. I guess you had one of those robes that they have. Maybe you could put them in the robe or something, and call for a Kino Candy wheelchair to wheel them out of there. Might work. There you go. It's like 48 cents US. Well, there you go. But no, but yes, thank you, Diana. That is kind of the ongoing joke, isn't it, between U.S. and Canadian friends, is to disparage the value of the Canadian dollar. It's not Venezuela or Zimbabwe or anything. You guys are hanging in there. But so that was kind of an adventure, and yeah, you can look that one up on the interwebs, because there's still news stories about that. So. But I can't. I've never been in a hotel room when like all the lights went out. I did this. This is another Kansas City story. So it isn't really Las Vegas, but it was a casino. In the middle of the night, the fire alarms go off, so we all have to evacuate briefly. It wasn't too cold, fortunately, at that point. But then, we did get to go back to our room after like 20, 30 minutes. But it's not something you really want to do at 2, 3 in the morning. But never had a blackout. Well, I've had a blackout. The hotel hasn't had a blackout. Yeah, so there you go. But yeah, the last Saturday, I guess, talking about hotels as well, and taking advantage of different hotel properties, even ones that may not be the most expensive or exclusive ones. Got into sort of a brief back and forth with my good friend Kathy Grant from merry old England, and she thought I was disparaging the very lovely Luxor, which I would not do, because it is one of my favorite properties, actually. If you can go back and find the second edition of the Fancy Show, I believe you can find that it ends up getting ranked like 3rd, maybe, out of all the properties in Las Vegas. Now, I know it's not really the 3rd best property, but it does have a lot of, I like it there. And it does have a lot of good memories. Although, again, there are some memories from Luxor that have been lost. But, and of course, that's where we stayed on our elopement / honeymoon. So it also will always have that sort of special quality as well. That of. There you go. But yeah, we love the Luxor. I like to think that I discovered the play bar myself just by wandering around there and trying to find a place to play video poker. And then over time, we've all discovered its magical hold, or its dangerous hold, I guess we'll say. Yeah, we do enjoy the play bar. Actually, there's several pretty good bars there, actually, but that one seems a little less the most laid back. Yeah, I think I really like it if you can get one of the little one-bedroom suites at Luxor. They're probably the least expensive real suite you can usually find, and so we did enjoy that very much. But yeah, that was something that I was going to try to touch on, and maybe that's a future direction. But I think it would be a fun short segment is to do little clips on favorite Las Vegas casino bars. I think I have a pretty good idea where the Kinos would start that particular trip at the Gem Bar with Frenchie and the other associates there. Which is, I do enjoy that bar, actually. It's a pretty nice place. But yeah, stayed at Luxor the most. I think I've now stayed. Did I stay at Luxor 4 times or 3? I don't know. I have to write this stuff down, and I don't have that data in front of me. So, all right. We are about 25 minutes in. I don't know how long we're going to go tonight. As long as I guess there's people that want to sit in here and chat. Probably won't go over an hour. It is a school night, as they say. And I could be watching basketball games right now. But no, I'm talking to you people because I care. Like the elite room, just a little weary of the pyramid. Yeah, I guess I need to just suck it up and stay in the pyramid sometime. I can usually a lot of times I can get those little like Luxor pyramid suites comped or at a very low price. The ones with the little well, of course they all have the slanted walls, but also has like the jacuzzi tub right next to it. That might be kind of fun. That might be okay. Carousel bar at the Plaza. Yeah, that's definitely one to check out sometime. I've enjoyed what they've done with the Plaza over the past few years for sure. Definitely a property to definitely worthwhile. At this point, I would call it kind of a mid-range property, even though traditionally I think we would think of it as kind of low rent, shall we say. I think I'm pretty sure I mentioned this when we did the sort of wrap up video of John Timber, Mark Timber. But the last full day we were in Vegas, we actually played bingo at the Plaza, which was I enjoyed it. I think we played like the cheapest thing you could play. It was still like a whole bunch of games. I think it cost us $35. We just shared a ticket. But you got like 2 free drinks. I mean, like regular drinks. Like I ended up getting a couple of beers. And it killed basically an hour of time. So I would definitely do the bingo thing again at some point. At my advanced age, yeah, the bingo thing is definitely an opportunity. But the other bars that I always liked, and most of you who've watched the channel for some time would remember my longtime affection for the Orleans, which I've stayed at, I think, 19 times or some crazy thing like that. And I always enjoyed their casino bars, particularly the bar. At one time, I actually remember what it was called. The bar that's right next to the poker room. I spent many an hour over the years playing mostly caveman Keno there, actually. Once in a while, video poker, but always had pretty good luck there. And at a quarter a pop, as long as the tips kept coming, so did the Budweisers. So, all right, we will. We're at the halfway point, so I think it's time for our ceremonial shot, or 2 or 3. So I'm going to take a brief break to acquire the necessary equipment and let you all use the restroom if you need to. And we'll be back here in just a minute or so. and we'll do the second half of what passes for our live stream. Are you watching the documentary about Mr. Rogers? Yeah. A lot, Mr. Rogers. He had a neighborhood of make-believe just like me. All right. All right, we're back in frame. The name of that movie I was talking about is called The Do-Over, by the way, if anybody's interested. But yeah, there's no place to play bingo on the Strip, though, is there? You have to go to like Gold Coast. I stayed at Gold Coast a lot too. Speaking of which, I hope they do something with the Rio. Has anybody gone over to the Rio since the conversion over from Caesars? Probably somebody has, and they've done a vlog, and I haven't seen it. But it sounds like they've taken out a whole bunch of machines. It's a completely different, obviously, players club. But yeah, I would really like to see that property come back. The Palms is I think is still an excellent property as well. And the Gold Coast has kind of a nice cachet, and well, they have bingo. All right, I totally blame the Kenos for this, and I blame them for a lot of things, frankly. Heck, who knows? But we're on the fireball because that's what we're on these days. So cheers to everybody for our 100th episode of Vegas Tips and Tricks, our final episode, our final Wednesday show. That's right, Palace Station. Yeah, I remember, I think it was during the Keno wedding videos that a number of you all went to the sort of fun Saturday night bingo at Palace Station. And that definitely looks like a fun place to go. All right. Great tip for those of you that enjoy a shot here and there. I always keep the alcohol in the freezer. The freezer, folks. Changes the whole experience. But anyway, there you go. And there is our good friend Kevin, all the way from San Diego, or the environs. And thank you for dropping in. V squared. One of many people had an opportunity in this chat to spend some time with in Las Vegas. Is it last month? Yeah, it's still last month. Seems like a long ways away. But yeah. I mean, I did say when I started doing these little shorts that I was good. Well, they're not really shorts, but you get the idea that we would do 100 of them and then we would move on. But so yeah, I'm on the iPad here tonight, which apparently is doing pretty well as far as sound and video quality. So that's good. But one of the things we have on the iPad, which I purchased probably, I don't know, a few weeks after it became available, was a subscription to Final Cut Pro, which a lot of people who are Mac people, Apple people, will recognize as probably one of the 2 or 3 premier sort of pieces of video editing software that's been available on Mac for years and years. And I actually have the iPad version of that, which is not quite as extensive, but definitely has a lot of features that I'm only beginning to learn how to use. But having purchased this thing for a year at least, I'm determined to utilize it in the future for our new videos. So that's and then like I said, it's worked pretty well for this live. So. The other thing I'm hoping to do again, maybe, I don't know if it'll be this fall, maybe it'll be a spring thing. I don't know, is the possibility of doing another sort of group live stream, which we did, I think it was Easter Sunday actually, last year where we got several different people and just kind of got together and talked about Vegas for an hour and a half. So we may try to do that with. So if any of you are interested in being part of such a thing, I know Kevin was a part of that that particular show. We definitely had a good time with that, but. Yeah, frankly, I don't have any idea when the next trip to Vegas is. It probably won't be until next fall, to be honest, because, well, we are expecting a little gift this winter, and that's going to definitely be the focus of my energy throughout at least the first half of next year. And then I'm just going to abandon the thing. No, that is what I mean. But I don't know when we'll get back, but I'm sure I'll try to make it back for my birthday at least. That's become kind of a tradition. And besides, we can't let Mark have that whole week all to himself. It's just not acceptable. Since figures in the Da Vinci Resolve, I've been using it. I can't wait to try it on Vegas. That is correct. We are expecting a little jackpot. I'm not going to share pictures because I don't really have them at hand, but little guy is doing quite well. Looks like he's got all of his necessary parts and is just over 2 pounds already. They said he was in the 93rd percentile, so he's a big dude. At least he is now. So we don't have a name for sure yet. I think I mentioned to. What was the denomination? But yeah, yeah. So I think I mentioned that for $50,000, anyone can have the naming rights. That is only go for 5 years. After that, we change his name to whatever we want. So, yeah. So, so I don't think we're going to get anybody to buy off on the naming rights. But maybe I could sell the middle name. I could sell the middle name. I was told I have the middle name if I want to use it. I have to agree on the first name. We have some ideas. So yeah, we're very excited. Obviously, it's a lot to get ready for, and it's going to be crazy and incredibly. Yeah, I don't sleep the best anyway, so maybe it won't impact me. But I know at least for those first months, probably sleep may be somewhat hard to come by. So we'll keep everybody up to date on that as time goes by. But yeah, so yeah, but yeah, what was the denomination? Yeah, I think we were betting. I think we were betting like 60 cents, and we definitely got a big win on that one. So for us, the denomination is unlimited, $1 billion. So there you go, Andy or BJ Jr. Yeah, maybe we just name him. We could just name him J.R. Swift. Use the fake name as his real name, J.R. Jr. Well, that's a lot to saddle a child with. All right, second shot. If I do too many of these, I won't remember how this ends. Yeah. Now I got to clean up the liquor here. It's time for a detox. So we're going to do a no booze November. No booze November. That's coming up, like 5 or 6 days, it'll be November. So after that, yeah. Calling Vegas. Yeah, I think I even brought that up at one point. At one point, I almost had her convinced to the idea that we would, if it was a girl, it would be Aria. If it was a boy, it would be Cosmo. How about that? Aria and Cosmo. Aria is a bit. I think that's become kind of trendy. Cosmo, of course, was Kramer's real first name on Seinfeld, a show that we share very much in common. John Henry, it's very interesting because my grandfather's full name was William John Henry Rare. So there you go. Isn't John Henry the guy with the like driving the stakes in the railroad, and he like killed himself, worked himself to death or something, trying to beat the machine? I don't know, but yeah. So, but yeah, that's fun. I mean, it's been a long time ago already that we kind of went through a list of names, and you get the whole. You come up with like 10 names you think are just awesome, and you're on both sides. Don't get me wrong, and like there's maybe 3 of them that the other person likes. So I had a hammer happen in West Virginia. There you go. I thought that was the story. Many things happen in West Virginia. I I don't know why all of a sudden I'm thinking. As I mentioned earlier on, I do such a terrible job anymore of actually watching people's videos, watching the Vegas vlogs out there. But I watch a lot of other stuff on YouTube. And no, I don't watch Showgirls on YouTube. That's on a whole different streaming service. But no, people probably think, oh, all I do is sit around and watch. There you go, John William Henry Ray. I don't want. I want the child to have his own name, and if I at one point the wife even said, if you want to name him Billy after your dad, and that's sweet, and I kind of get that, but at the same time, I want him to have his own name. The thing is, and you kind of throw names back and forth, and sometimes you're like, oh wow, I mean, that some kid's gonna think this is a weird name, and they're gonna make fun of it, and the kid's gonna hate it. It's like nobody liked their name growing up, did they? Did anybody really like it? I always wanted it to be something else. I wanted it to be like Daniel or Thomas or something like that. I didn't want to be John. I mean, most people don't hate their name, but they probably would have chosen something else. Hold on, someone's trying to call me. Believe it or not, people calling me. Yeah, whatever. I don't know what that was. It's one of those names I don't recognize. But anyhow, sorry about that. No, but yeah, that's exactly where we're probably headed, Brenda, is pulling a name, a middle name. William is a distinct possibility. We've definitely talked about that one, because that was my grandfather's name, one I never really knew, but so it's definitely a possibility. But yeah, no, I watch a lot of different weird stuff on YouTube besides Vegas stuff. I feel bad because I used to watch a lot of those like slot channels and know a lot of slot channels. But I mean, I don't remember the people back in the day when they first had like the Brian Christophers and the Diana Ivani. There's a few others like SD Guy. I'm trying to think of who they were, but even like Windy City Frenzy that comments on our videos quite frequently, actually. Back, not so many years ago, it was quite a novelty to be able to watch someone play slots. And I would come home, I'd get off work like 4:30, 5 o'clock, something like that, come home, and I would watch these like live streams, and I'd watch this every day. And I was just totally into it. And I'm just anymore. It's like sometimes I'll watch a vlog and I hit a stretch where I know there's going to be a lot of slot play, and I'll just fast forward through it because I guess I'm just kind of done with it. But yeah, I mean, I watch a lot of stuff. Haven't watched a lot of the genealogy stuff. There's a guy that does like these sort of family trees of different, like kings and queens and countries, and It's kind of cool. Yeah, Tina, it probably was my friend potential spam, or spam. I think it usually. I think his name is Spam Likely. Yeah, Richard is a good strong middle name, Brenda. Another one that I'm very seriously considering, and I know Brenda would have a connection to this because she shares, or more or less, almost shares the same birthday as my uncle Larry. So I've thought about Lawrence also as a middle name because he was a very special person in my life, and we've been without him now for almost 24 years. And his son Lawrence Jr. passed away just a few months ago in his mid 60s. And so, yeah, part of me would like to pay a little bit of tribute to that, but no, I watch a lot of weird videos. It helps me go to sleep at night sometimes. I've had videos that I've tried to watch, you know, 4, 5, 6 times, and they're just and I want to watch them, but for whatever reason, maybe the sound of the person's voice, or just something about the content that just literally puts me to sleep, which is good because I kind of want something to put me to sleep at night. But yeah, name him Drew. I don't know that name has even come up, Drew, in a negative or positive light. So yeah, that's been a thing. So yeah, now yeah, but yeah, I watch a lot of weird stuff. I watch a lot of geography stuff. You know, this is like, you know, a lot of these sort of fun facts about geography. I find that really interesting. I watch a lot of sort of retro tech stuff, which I think is, I mean, if you're of a certain age, it's fascinating. You know, these people find like old 20-year-old computers and, you know, try to get them up and running and try to install Windows 98 on it and things like that. Lately, I've even watched some videos with, or people like try to fix these old radios or TVs and stuff. And I really don't know what they're doing, but I find it kind of interesting. So yeah, that's the kind of thing that absorbs my day-to-day YouTube schedule, and why sometimes I do miss out on so much stuff that I probably need to watch and would enjoy watching. Like I said, I know I did watch quite a bit of the Mark Timber stuff and John Timber stuff that people did, and I did enjoy it. So I kind of would like to get back to some kind of a routine when it comes to Vegas, and some of the other videos. And I mean, I don't remember the last time I caught one of Walt's videos or Kevin's videos, but I know consistently they're good. They're well made and good quality, and there's just too much to keep track of in the world. And I guess my problem is, and this was always my problem when I was thinking about blogging or vlogging, anything back in the day, was my interests are just too diverse. I can't just focus completely on one thing, but that's right. Coming to Vegas, anything that you do the same way since the first visit? Well, it's interesting. I Well, no, I suppose I usually try, you know, once I get checked into the room, my first move is pretty much always, um, I can't remember ever like just going immediately and trying to find something to eat. It's always been try to find a game, sit down and have the first drink, I guess. Him does anything you do the same way since the first visit. Yeah. Um, I've never, I shouldn't say this because really the first time I was in Vegas, I kind of did do this and like tried to stay up all night and have this like, sort of wild party thing. But um, yeah, I mean, I've never tried to like overstuff my trips, I guess. I think that's probably a good way to describe it. I've always tried to leave myself a lot of spare time. I've always liked just, sleep in if I feel like it. And I used to be able to sleep in better than I can now, but I wake up when I want to wake up. I get up, do what I want to do. If I want to sit in the room and watch old Law and Order SVU episodes, I do it. Because I'm on vacation. I'm relaxing. Yeah, I'm in Vegas, but I'm also, it's not like I'm not going to be able to find enough time to gamble. I think I can probably pull that off. And speaking of pulling it off, there it is, Mr. PJ. PJ's Cocktails, Slots, and Entertainment, and many other YouTube channels, I am certain. So there you go. But just to honor PJ, we will do, because PJ has been doing some more cocktail videos lately, and probably the single greatest contributor to Vegas Tips and Tricks YouTube channel over the years was I don't know how many times, 50 times maybe, PJ, that you contributed a segment of some sort to our show, the cocktail of the week. So we might have to bring that back. I'm thinking PJ would be down with it to bring the cocktail of the week segment back. So we'll see if that happens or not. But all right, that's our last shot for the night. I should be able to sleep well now. But now, yeah, it's now coming up on a year that we have been here in beautiful Lincoln, Nebraska. Hard to believe. Wife moved up here mid-October. I wasn't able to join her for a couple of weeks because I was still working at my other store. But my first day working at the store here in Lincoln was November 19th, and that's now just over 3 weeks away. So should be great. But yeah, the PJ's Cocktails thing were great. But 50 yeah, it probably was about 50 episodes. That was good. I do have. I think I'm pretty sure I actually bought it, didn't I? Didn't I buy the PJ's Cocktails T-shirt though? Pretty sure I did. So yeah. But no. So we'll see where the channel goes in the months to come. But somebody made a comment a few weeks back. I think it was Tom of Tom and Mindy fame. Hope they're doing well. I see they were back in Vegas with a lot of you during Granny Fest. But I had like a sequence on one of, I did a collaboration with Mark. I think we were talking about how to get complimentary drinks in Vegas. And yes, I wear it from time to time. I think I wore it in Vegas one day, even on this last trip. But actually what we need, what we need to do, PJ, is we need to do a live collaboration. And we'll do some sort of cocktail challenge together. That might be fun to do sometime too. If we do another one of these live streams eventually. But yeah, well, hey, the football team still isn't really very good here, but they're very big on volleyball here in Nebraska because they happen to be good at it. Which, let's be frank. Well, if your name isn't Frank, you probably don't want to be Frank. But most fan bases gravitate towards what they're good at. Go Huskies. And that reminds me of UConn. I mean, obviously they've had so much success in women's basketball. They have the men's defending champion as well. And by the way, preseason number one in men's college basketball is in fact the Jayhawks. So there you go. And actually, I think PJ can make a drink and then he can pretend to hand it over to me. And I can we'll have like a little kind of fake thing and then I'll drink it. And we'll see how long the live stream actually lasts. It may not last very long, honestly, but that could actually be kind of fun. Excuse me. But rock chalk. There you go, man. Rock chalk. So anyway, but we'll see how that goes. But so yeah, you root for the teams that are actually good. So the volleyball team's very big around here, and it's so big that they and I don't know if anybody saw this, and it was on ESPN. It was on like international news that they put like 90-some thousand people in the football stadium to watch a volleyball game. And since it was a women's sporting event, it's like the largest recorded crowd in the world for a women's sporting event. So that's kind of cool. But no, Lincoln's a pretty nice place. It's significantly bigger than Lawrence, probably 3-4 times the size. There's a lot to do around here. It also has the university crowd, but it's not quite as much as far as it doesn't feel quite as overwhelmed by the student body as Lawrence did. But both Lawrence and Lincoln have really, really bad drivers. I would just like to say that, and I'm including myself, but I'm not even in the 50th percentile of the bad drivers. Start with the glass, then how old the drink is, or the history of the drink, then one ingredient at a time. And so maybe what we need to do, this could work, by the way, and I would work on putting this together actually. We look for some traditional Vegas drinks, okay? And obviously Kevin could help us with that, Vegas Visual. And we work on a small group, a handful of those traditional Vegas-y drinks. And PJ makes it. Kevin talks about the history of that drink, where it came from, why it is so intricately connected to Las Vegas, and then I drink it. And again, the video might last 30 minutes at that rate, but that's probably long enough. So you guys throw this one around, and we'll see if we can make that happen. Nebraska probably didn't pay much for their helmet logo. Yeah, I mean, it's not the most innovative stuff in the world, but yeah, there you go. Well, PJ, you do know that if you'd like, at some point, this video will be compiled together by the power of StreamYard and YouTube, and you can watch the parts you missed. I believe you were mentioned at least once. I said you would probably show up at some point. So yeah, no. So we could create a wheel with a bunch of liquors on it. You and my wife love wheels of fortune. She likes to has like a little roulette wheel that she uses as a decision maker. But yeah, we can see what we can do. But yeah, I think it could be kind of fun. Yeah. So the sort of final weird moment of the week was that there were two things that I wanted to try to do that basically involved getting some sort of a VPN. And I mean, there are reasons to get a VPN if you're online anyway, for privacy reasons. But let's be honest, a lot of people get these VPNs for the reason that I got the VPN. And one of them was to try and utilize it because at this point anyway, the state of Nebraska, though they do have legal sports gambling, the only way you can use it is to go to a casino that has an actual sports book of sorts. They have no online wagering. So I wanted to try to get a VPN in part to do some kind of sports wagering. And also, I'm a big basketball fan. I'm missing games right now. Thank you for letting me know that Boston won. The real question, though, is did Boston cover? I think they were only a 4-point favorite because I think the game was in Madison Square Garden, if I'm correct on that. But yeah, so the other thing I wanted to do was be able to tweak my location so that I could watch any of the League Pass games because believe it or not, I'm sitting here in Lincoln, Nebraska, And most of you have some understanding of geography. Hey, Blair G. You know, they say Blair is everywhere, but only if you stay around long enough for him to get there. 1 by 4. Wow, it's a push. I think that was Penny's bet of the day. So we'll see how that goes. 108, 104. Wow, that almost exactly hits the point spread that I saw. But so I got this VPN. I got the phone, which is where I would prefer to make my sports wagers, because I can do that anytime. I ended up I put the phone in Mexico, so it thinks I'm in Mexico. So today, several times I'm like going to like websites or like clicking on something, and I'm getting ads in Spanish, which is kind of cool. I'm trying to learn Spanish a little bit, but yeah. So anyway, that's the history of the VPN stuff that's been going on. Blair, I hope all is going well with you. You can never get enough Blair. Blair is the man with the plan. ESPN Mexico es no bueno. ESPN Mexico es no bueno. No, is, but es no bueno. Well, apparently, according to my my VPN, I'm in Mexico right now. Although not on the iPad, I'm in Seattle, because that gives me access to every NBA team except Golden State, and they're on TV every week anyway, and I can change that around. So, but yeah, that's what's going on with Mexico. But maybe I'm going to tell people I'm in Romania pretty soon. Del Shannon, the man, Neon Vacation. Good to see you join us here tonight. You know, if you stick around long enough, eventually everybody shows up. How long? Here's the question: how long do we have to stay on before? Let's see. Anastas is on a cruise, I think, or on vacation. I don't know. Anastas takes more vacations than David and Paulina, for God's sake. The new edition. I like that. It is kind of a new edition of JR, I guess. I don't know. We're going to have to bring back JP, aren't we? I still got the hat. It did not get thrown out on the trip. In fact, there are way too many things in this apartment that did not get thrown out. We're trying. We got a clean house. We've been working on that a little bit, but try to create some space for the new edition. New edition. Yeah, another great band. That bastard still owes me $2. Anastas does? I don't know. But Dale just got home from Vegas, got to see the Sphere. Face blue, smiling. Yeah, I don't know. You know, I saw an article, and I believe it, to the effect that the Sphere could potentially be a very big draw. Oh, okay, JP does. Oh, okay, yeah, he probably does. That a lot of people who wouldn't go to Vegas otherwise are thinking about going just because they've heard about this Sphere and they want to see it. And I have personal experience of that because my cousin Scott, who I stay in touch with, we text each other once in a while if we need to. But I don't talk to a lot. But he like saw something on the news about this. Like, man, I'd love to go see you too there, man. That'd be awesome. And he's never been to Vegas, never. So I do wonder. This could bring a lot of people to Vegas that might not otherwise go because of this really strange, kind of amazing concert experience. I would definitely like to go. So hopefully I'll make it someday. Yeah. So yeah, Dominican jails are cheap. Yeah, yeah, well, definitely. He just lets in. I want my $2. I don't know. I feel like the chat is degenerating into something that I'm proud of, all of you. Um, these live streams over the years have been quite a misadventure, certainly. We've had some, like I said, we have some good moments. Like I said, I really very proud of our collaboration. We did that back in April, talking about what Vegas means to me. Shout out to Mo Vestro, who has made has lived his dream and moved to Vegas. And he's like working at the D as like a slot technician now, which is pretty awesome. I mean, if anybody remembers the old D-Gen shows, I think they were Thursday night, wasn't it? I wasn't always able to get there. It was a little bit late for me, but the D-Gen heaven sort of thing, whatever it was. But it's so cool that he ended up being basically a slot tech in Vegas, and a really good guy, and also the person that married the Kenos. You gotta love that. Yeah. Well, the interesting connection is because we were talking about basketball. Of course, the MSG Sphere is connected to Madison Square Garden, and James Dolan, who owns the New York Knicks, I think also owns. God, does he own the Vegas Visual? Could probably tell me this stuff, but I think he has some connection to, or did have some connection to, either the Great Western Forum. The old venue for Showtime Lakers back in the 80s and 90s. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, but hey, it should be good. It cost $2 billion, more than that. So if it's not good, then someone definitely took it somewhere. I don't know. I did see. I had a friend that like was looking at some of the videos and was kind of look about. Wow. I don't need this much distraction when I'm seeing a concert. I really just want to see the show, and this is more like it's more like the venue is the star and the performer is in the background. But yeah, I don't know, Kevin. I like to think that I'm knowledgeable about these things until I'm in your presence, and then I realize that I do not know nearly as much as you do. So, but glad you got to check it out, Dell. I'm sure it is definitely something to see, and I mean, it seems like something reasonable. Maybe I can combine that with my first visit to Venetian, my first stay at Venetian, along with my visit to the Sphere. Parking's 100. Well, that's all right. I'm not going to have a car. I'm going to walk. Don't get a car, L&D. I know you want to go to Blueberry Hill. And you want to check out the graveyard specials at South Point, up at the Coronado Cafe. Get those pancakes. Go out to, what is it, Suncoast. But hey, there you go. Treasure Island. I'm sorry, Blair. Ace of Vegas said we can't go there. No car in Vegas. Yeah. Hey, I've enjoyed having a car in Vegas just because just to get out of Vegas. But for driving around, God. I said Lawrence and Lincoln had bad drivers. Well, I don't think they can quite match up with Vegas drivers. There you go. Phil Ruffin. Yeah, well, Phil Ruffin didn't kill your brother. Yeah. So, no, I don't know. Yeah, well, like I said, when we started this, maybe PJ or Blair or Dell has something to contribute here before we wrap this up to the theme that the Vegas Tips and Tricks program has had for most of the last year, and that's been various Vegas hotels. If any of the three of you, for example, have a great Vegas hotel story, something bizarre that happened, something amazing that happened, something horrific that happened. We've talked about people that have found dead bodies in their room, and the usual, but absolutely, yeah. No, I would not be driving a semi in Las Vegas. Definitely not. If I have not expressed my hatred for I-15 yet to enough people, I would like to express it right now. I hate that interstate. I hate driving on it. I hate being in a vehicle on it. It's the worst. It's the best reason not to go downtown, because you're probably going to get lured into end up on I-15. I've seen like taxi drivers and Uber drivers go out of their mind. It is not a good place. Nothing unusual happened to me. Sex in the elevator and a stairwell. Well, that's pretty normal for you. There you go. Aoki at the airport today. Well, there you go. Wow. That's like a whole different world with these EDM people. But yeah. I could tell you a story, PJ, but I won't. Well, I might tell you, but not telling everybody. No, that was the coolest, craziest thing I have done in a hotel in Vegas. Well, wow. PJ's going to do that with Kathy, I think, sometime. I think I was going to say at the end of this year. So, I'll have to check the line on the chance that PJ will A, do it, and B, survive it. I'd say the chance he'll do it is less than the chance that he won't survive it, because it's pretty much just a controlled drop. I don't know if Blair G would ever jump out of an airplane. I might jump out of an airplane if I discovered that Blair G was flying it. Excuse me. This might be fun. Maybe we can wrap this thing up with a kind of a more sure of a lot of 2001 done. Near place to do it. Wow. Whew. I couldn't do it. I just couldn't step over the edge. That would be what would kill me. No. Dang. Okay. So you are getting on an airplane and you get in, you sit down into your seat. They haven't closed everything up yet. People are still coming on board. And the pilot comes out. Which Vegas vlogger would make you run if they were the pilot? Not Blair. Can't use Blair. Which Vegas vlogger / celebrity / YouTuber, whatever it might be, would make you the most frightened and would make you run out of that plane, even if you had to leave your carry-on on board? I don't know. Cinnamon. Wow. Okay, Cinnamon. Is the first answer. Cinnamon still scares me. 2 cents. Oh wow. Because she doesn't even drive. Well, yeah, there you go. But hey, dude, I don't know. Maybe it's just if Pennies for Vegas walks out of that cabin, I'm out the door, man. Love the guy, but I'm not staying on that plane. Oh my God. I would prefer. I'd rather let Ronnie C fly the plane. Not gonna lie. 2 cents. Oh, wow. Yeah, I like that question, actually. It's the kind of thing we need to do on these live streams that have really silly questions. Captain Pennies and First Officer Cinnamon. Wow. It's all right. They'd never get off the ground, so it would not be a big deal. That would be some pretty crazy shit. So, I mean, if the Kinos were in the cockpit, the whole thing would be live streamed. So, would never leave the tarmac. I love it. I love it, guys. That's funny. So, what Vegas vlogger would make you feel most comfortable if they came out and they were the pilot? Well, other than Blair G, which actually would be the person who could actually fly the plane, we assume. And I'm trying to think. Blair. Wow, is there anybody? Yeah, exactly. Blair is the answer to that one. I don't know. Vegas visual kind of feels like he knows how to do everything. So I kind of feel like maybe if Kevin walked out, I'd be like, well, I didn't know you could fly a plane. But I pretty much believe that he could. Ace of Vegas, yeah, there you go. Yeah, Ace of Vegas could do it as well. Yeah, that's a good one. You kind of always assume Ace of Vegas knows what he's doing. TNG, I'm not. Tamara and Gordon are not flying that damn plane. Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm gonna do like a question of the week. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I really want Matt Bridger flying my plane. I'd be okay with Ben Heath flying my plane, as long as he hadn't had his cocktail of the day. But he seems like he could fly a plane if he had to. I don't know. We're moving over into the English side of the world, but I can see that. Yeah. Wow. I'm not a pilot, but I play one on TV. Anybody remember those? Yeah, fly even flip-flops. Yeah. All right. Wow, we've been at this for over an hour, which is probably over an hour more than we should have been at this. But always great to see those of you that show up and participate. Al F. I don't know who Al F is, but I agree. Ace of Vegas would definitely make you feel pretty comfortable dropping in. But yeah, we'll probably wrap this thing up here. I flew a Cessna once. I'm frightened about that. I don't know. PJ would not be the worst person by far. Yeah. So, but yeah. Unless someone wants to discuss rock guitarists, I think we did that once for like 30 minutes. Yeah. If anybody has a topic, they throw it out there, and we'll talk about it for a few minutes. What happened the first 45 minutes? Wow. Not a whole lot, frankly. It's just like what happened the last 30 minutes. Not a whole lot. He just has a level head. That's called a flat head. Yeah, I'm sure PJ has a lot of stories about his Army days. I guess he was in the Army. Well, someday I'll have to ask those questions. But no. But yeah, no, absolutely. One of my probably one of my favorite parts of my trip to Vegas in September was about 3-4 hours maybe that PJ and I wandered around Vegas together. Met up with a few people along the way. A few misadventures like Duder and my friend Kevin and so forth. But that was a good time. I had a lot of fun doing that. I think might have even won a little money along the way. But there you go. Off topic, but you guys got a name yet? Oh, we have a lot of names. We're leaning towards Neon. We'll call him Nee for maybe a Neo. Neo. There you go. Do kind of a Matrix thing. That could be interesting. No, yeah, it was a good time. I keep getting my iPhone keeps like giving me like a picture of the day, and it tends to go back and forth between. My attorney is still composing a response to that. Kevin, thank you. but yeah, the no, but no, we're still thinking about some stuff. Yeah, definitely have some possibilities. Um, I wanted to. I kind of we're thinking if we could give him a first name that starts with S and a middle name that starts with I. And we actually have a possibility there. Then his initials could be Sir, which I don't know. Seems like a distinguished gentleman already. So there you go. Win Swift. It's funny if the J.R. Swift thing. I sometimes when a couple of times I've used that. Had recently had to give out that email address. By the way, if you ever want to reach me by email, it is J.R. Swift, all small lowercase letters at gmail.com. And I respond to almost none of my emails, but if I get one from some of you, I will. But anymore, I kind of think maybe people think that somehow I'm some sort of big Taylor Swift fan, which I don't know. I heard her show was very, very entertaining, but I don't really care that much. But yeah, so I did joke we should name our child Taylor Swift Rare. There you go. Stephen Ian Rare. There you go. Sir to you. But no, so anybody got anything exciting going on over the next week or so? I'm thinking I may drive up and spend a little time with Mom this Friday, if it works out, if the weather isn't too forbidding. A couple of weeks from now, I don't know. I'm actually looking forward to this, so definitely don't take this the wrong way. But my in-laws are coming up. My wife's mother and her husband are visiting us for a few days from just outside of Memphis, Tennessee, and yeah, looking forward to meeting them because I have not met them. That's what happens when you elope. You don't get to meet the whole family, but she's met a lot of my outlaws, in-laws. So looking forward to that. And that's coming up in 2 weeks, I guess. So that'll be fun. I think we're going to go at some point. I think we're going to take a trip up to Grand Island to have a meeting of the minds between both sets of in-laws. So that should be fun. But there you go. And they'll probably buy us dinner or something, so you can't beat that. Crazy weather here. It might hit 80 tomorrow. Yeah, we had a beautiful couple of days here. Like yesterday was great. So there you go. Yeah. So hey, by the way, everybody definitely check out PJ's Cocktail Slots and Entertainment. Actually, check out Uber DC. I see that we've had a number of additional videos in the Uber DC series. And PJ's definitely a big friend of the channel. So I hope that you'll check him out. Anybody that's got a channel in here, it looks like we got... I don't know. Dell still does some stuff. I think Vegas Visuals does some stuff. L&D does some stuff. So if you're in here, you want to drop your link to. But I'm guessing everybody in here already knows that. I will definitely tell your Aunt Ines hello, and so absolutely. But anyway. Okay, so and all of you wonderful people, again, thanks for coming in here for a little bit, sharing a little bit of your Wednesday with me. It is 4 weeks from drop any link you want in here, Drew. Absolutely. You're going to meet. You're going to get. A link to at this point it looks like 9 people in here, but that's all right. It's not quantity, it's quality that counts. So but yeah, so yeah, again, it's like 4 weeks from Thanksgiving, it's 2 months from Christmas, so it's going to be that time any day. All right, thank you, Neon Vacation, appreciate you. And appreciate all of you that dropped in and chatted with us a little bit tonight. And well, we'll do this again one of these days. I don't know, we'll see how November goes. We'll do a special Christmas event. That would be interesting. If I do a live stream on Christmas Day, who's going to show up? Only these sad, lonely people like myself. So, no, I'm not lonely, nor am I sad. But I am going to go ahead and call this live stream over. And definitely appreciate you all. And we'll talk to you all again. As always, I hope you have a great, lucky, and healthy week. We'll see you all again real soon. Bye-bye.